Peace, 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 peace. The human body is composed of approximately 20,000 genes. Our genome is the active sequence of genes on a DNA strand. Your body is a computer for DNA. DNA is the software that your brain uses to interpret electrical signals. RNA is the vibration, the formation, and the structure of the thoughts of the mind of God. RNA is partial copies of DNA. RNA is a copy of a gene. RNA tells ribosomes which proteins to create. Genes make up proteins. Genes are the expression of the selected possibility of the mind of God. Genes are controlled by the environment. Genes are the thoughts of the mind of God. DNA is the quantum field of the infinite possibilities of the mind of God, the molecular blueprint for all living things. Your perception comes from your genes, which are your instincts, the subconscious mind, which are your learned behaviors, and your conscious mind, which are your life experiences. Your perception controls your genes. Your perception rewrites your genes. Your perception regulates your behavior. RNA is the vibration, formation, and the structure of DNA. Ribosomes, aka the womb, reads RNA. It absorbs amino acids from the cytoplasm and begins to create proteins. Proteins are the building blocks of life. They carry out different functions in the body. The human body is composed of roughly 100,000 proteins. There are three types of proteins. You have receptors, which are proteins with antennas that interpret your environment. They're equivalent to your eyes, your ears, your nose, your tongue. Then you have effectors, which are channels, proteins that convert environmental signals into biological responses. So after your receptors receive the information, your effectors then convert the information based upon the experience that you have went through. That's called your processing, your processors. Your processors are the proteins that connect your receptors and effectors together. So if the society can effectively affect your your processors, then it doesn't matter what you're receiving because you don't understand how to process the information. Signals control proteins, and proteins control behavior. Signal transduction is the process of proteins responding to environmental signals. Understand that life is proteins responding to environmental signals. Life is proteins responding to environmental signals. This is a process. Amino acids become proteins. Proteins become cells. Cells become tissues. Tissues become organs. Organs become organisms. This is what makes you human. You have A, C, T, and G's, which are called nucleotides, adenine, cytosine, guanine, and thymine, ACTs and Gs. These are on your DNA strands. Amino acids live in the cytoplasm.
Maybe I'm a fly. Maybe I'm a fly.
The cytoplasm is the reproduction center of the cell. If you don't understand this, understand this. The membrane is the nervous system or the brain of the cell. So if I control your food, I control your genes. If I control your genes, I control your mind. A GMO is a genetically modified organism. A GMI is genetically modified information. Stem cells are multi-potential embryonic cells that have the ability to express various genetic readouts contingent upon the cultural medium or environment in which they are exposed. Your cells have the potential to express various genetic readouts based upon the environments in which you expose them to. CRISPR, CRISPR, is a genetic engineering tool used to edit your genes or sequence of genes through your food. Food is information. MicroRNAs alter the readout of your genes. MicroRNAs are picked up by your digestion system, then distributed into your cells, where they are then used to regulate your genes. So this is what is your struggle. The attack on your womb, the attack on your microRNAs, they're not breaking down from extreme heat or cold. MicroRNAs don't break down from extreme heat or cold. So you have to learn how to control your waters. Why don't be so heated? This person really just call me, bro? I'm not even gonna give the energy, because that's ignorance. That's selfish. That's why we don't. Anyways. As I was saying, this is much more important right here. You're stuck in your situations because your womb has not healed. Most likely because you're still following the same patterns that one who does not want to be free follows. Reprogram your cells. And that's how you win and break free from the matrix. How the fuck are you in debt? That's a disconnection within your own internal stimuli. And if it takes time for you to get remedy, that's again on you. You are the command. Did you understand what was being said when it said you are the nucleus? A chromosome is a DNA and a protein sleeve. Chromosomes are composed of 50% DNA, 50% protein. That's what you are. Methylation is the selection process which determines whether or not the gene will be activated, and is based upon how the mother and the father are experiencing their life, aka the environment, prior to the maturity of the sperm and the egg cell. A human being receives 23 chromosomes from his father, 23 chromosomes from their mother. Every human being is a direct reflection and expression of the relationship between his or her mother and father. 46 chromosomes. I am my mother and father. The character traits my parents failed to resolve within themselves are the debilitating character traits I inherit as generational curses. The character traits that you fail to resolve within yourself will be the debilitating character traits that will be inherited through your seed. Cerebral hypoxia is a reduced supply of oxygen to the brain. The brain waves are gamma, alpha, theta, delta. Gamma is heightened perception. Beta is awake, conscious. Alpha is physically and mentally relaxed, awake, but drowsy. Theta is reduced consciousness, deep meditation, dreams. Delta is deep sleep, loss of bodily awareness. Cerebral hypoxia is a reduced supply of oxygen to the brain. Which brain wave do you think you are in? Nature is the controlling, compelling force of the universe. There is no government that's governing your midst. It's you, the controlling, compelling force of the universe, nature. government is a cell that's living inside of your own mind. It's you. Check this. A hair plexus or root hair plexus is a special group of nerve fiber endings and serve as a very sensitive melanite receptor for touch sensitization. Each hair plexus forms a network around a hair follicle and is a receptor, which means it sends and receives nerve impulses to and from the brain when the hair moves. A state of ease is freedom from pain or discomfort. Lastly, a virus is something that poisons the mind. That's biology. A lesson in biology. Know thyself. The micro-cosim is the macro-cosim through the law of correspondence. Science proves this. Do not argue with the law. Science is the observation of nature. We can just look it up. We got a phone right here. Because if you're not sitting and you're not researching the words that pertain to your reality, this is why you're still doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results. You're getting terms and definitions, but you are utilizing the words that you were taught in school. When you understand that school is a system that was created not to benefit you, yet you still use the words that you learned in school. Make it make sense. You have no jurisprudence. You have no law understanding. So science. The systematic study of the structure and behavior of physical nature. The systematic. It's a system. Science is a system. And it's a study of structure and behavior of physical and natural through observation. So science is studied through observation. So now you know science is studied through observation. If you want to get to the next level in life, you must study through observation. And there's no excuses, especially I spend a lot of time giving out. If y'all wasn't here last night, we went over a whole entire process of how to actually get remedy, get legal remedy, how to get equity. Equitable relief, that's the term I'm looking for. Because it wasn't just remedy, it was equitable relief and it was remedy. And nowhere else can you find this. And we want to complain and we want to focus on the wrong things because our nature is toxic, because the programs and the systems, we're on bullshit. We're really on bullshit. We really don't want to win. We say we want to win, but we're lying to ourselves. It's like New Year's. It's like you're not used to this lifestyle. So it's like unless you go through pain, unless you go through intense things, you're gonna be still comfortable in your old lifestyle. This is the main reason why we're still in the positions that we're in today. Because in 2020, if you weren't in 2020 able to take advantage, the speaker died. If you weren't able to take advantage of not just the stimulus package, the government, the government is controlled by the United States debt. The United States debt is controlled by who? The consumers, we the people. So we the people release $3 trillion into the circulation, but yet we the people didn't all take advantage of this because we the people didn't all build our businesses. We the people rather go to work rather than sit down and read the consumer laws that pertain to credit. You are utilizing your social security number to get that job, utilizing your social security number to get that apartment, social security number to get that phone bill. It's a security, so it's meant to provide security. So when you sit down and read the Social Security Act, so you can see how you can take action. We read the definitions of the words actions yesterday, and to take action means to counterclaim. So meaning that they're claiming you owe, you must counterclaim, you must take an action. That's what it means when you when you stand up for your rights. You must counterclaim, because ever since you were born, there was a claim made that you were a business, you were a corporation, and your whole life you signed off for it, your parents signed off for it. So now there's nothing wrong with the government. You are agreeing to be a subject because also you continue ignoring information that's presented instead of asking questions about the information that's being presented. And I must talk like this because, yeah, I'm still baffled every day by how much time we spend on conversations that don't actually pertain to the things that matter when it comes to our livelihood, aka our settlement. Once you master estate planning, once you master status correction, you understand those words: status, status. You understand estate, estate, or state of. You understand these words, then we can have conversations about regular shit. But other than that,
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What are we talking about?
What are we doing?
Conversations about nothing.
But no, seriously. So last night we got on here and I went over the Bills of Exchange Act and I went over endorsement. Not just last night, but I've done this a few times. So this right here is more of an informative live, direct live, and just so that you can see how you can get to the process. The Bill of Exchange Act. The Truth in Lending Act. That's it. And if you're working with me and you haven't read information, or if you haven't watched any videos that I've sent, or if you haven't asked for more information, then it's like, I cannot free you. You have to move your feet. I can tell you, hey, the direction is over here. This is where we're going, but I can't free you. And this is the age of Aquarius, where this is the only way that we're going to actually be able to progress in our businesses. It's not the age of Pisces. There's no more working and solopreneurs and entities. This is why you're starting to see corporations coming together. This is happening subconsciously and subliminally, but then also at the same time, understand that this is the cosmic energy that's being ushered right now. Cut the speaker on. So look, I'll go into it with y'all right here. Since I'm right here. Truth in Lending Act. This is called foundation. This is how you build your foundation. And then after you build your foundation, you just have to follow up. But that means you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice. Oh, once you start cleaning up and you say you become sovereign, you have to sacrifice. Like, okay, that means if you've been paying your bill and if you've been acting as a minor for your whole entire life, and all of a sudden you act as the consumer, you acting as a major, you're going to be tested. Because if you were that powerful, why would you be letting the system or the corporation take advantage of you for so long? So this is all that's happening. It's not that the information doesn't work. It's not that you don't get remedy. It's that you're being tested because who do you think you are? You were born a slave. United States of America is a corporation. You at 28 USC 3002. I'm not making this up. So this is how you stop arguing with people, because a lot of people, you're weak, or you're weak, you don't have the will because it's your family or it's your loved ones that's stopping you. But you got to show them the facts. 28. United States is a corporation. 28 USC 3002. What did I say? Definitions 28 USC 3002. counsel in the United States means United States attorney. Court means any court created by Congress of the United States. That's what court is. It has to be Congress of the United States. That's what? Excluding the United States tax court. What's a debt? People like, oh, we owe debt. You're in debt. Debt means an amount that is owing to the United States on account of a direct loan, a loan insured or guaranteed. This is 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 3A. An amount that's owing to the United States is the definition of a debt. Who's a debtor? Person who is liable for a debt or against whom there is a claim for a debt. What is the definition for action? What's the definition for action? Somebody drop the definition for action. Action includes counterclaim and set off. Counterclaim and set off. 28 U.S.C. Debtor means a person who's liable for debt or against whom there is a claim for a debt. So now you must take action if they say you're a debtor. Hold on. 28 U.S.C. 3002, subsection 15A, United States means federal corporation. You're not living inside of a country. You're living inside of a federal corporation. You are living inside of an agency, a department, a commission, a board, or other entity. You are an instrumentality of the United States. Truth in Lending Act, also known as TILA. The Truth in Lending Act, 1968, United States federal law designated to promote the informed use of consumer credit by requiring disclosures about its terms and costs to standardize the manner in which costs associated with borrowing are calculated and disclosed. Let's go into it. This is Title 15, United States Code 1692. We're going to start with A. Go down the alphabet. We go right here. Boom. Definitions. You want to know definitions. What's bureau? Term bureau means Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection. So if we see bureau, let's click on that. Term means the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection. So who are the agents for the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection? If we know the FBI, that's the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Who are the agents for the FBI? Federal agents. So who are agents for the Bureau of Consumer Financial Protection? Well, let's see. The term consumer, lowercase c, means any natural person obligated or allegedly obligated to pay a debt. Allegedly obligated to pay a debt. Consumer. The term consumer means any natural person obligated or allegedly obligated to pay a debt. Natural means of the land, nature, of the nature. The term debt collector means any person who uses any instrumentality of interstate commerce or the mails in any business, the principal purpose of which is the collection of any debts. The term, so if they send you anything in the mail, if they use any type of corporation and they're using commerce, the corporation is a business, that's a debt collector. Any officer or employee of a creditor, while in the name of a creditor collecting debts for such creditor, that's a debt collector. This is 6A. 6B. Any person while acting as a debt collector for another person, both of whom are related, common ownership or affiliated by corporate control if the person, so this means an attorney, anybody acting on your behalf. C, any officer or an employee of the United States, debt collectors. This is just A. Hold on, what's B? So this is how you communicate to the entities. Hey, according to 50 USC 1692B, acquisition of location information, or according to the Truth in Lending Act, in regards to acquisition of location and information, the debt collector cannot communicate with any person other than the consumer for the purpose of acquiring location information. So how are they sending you mail if they didn't directly communicate with the consumer for the purpose of acquiring location information? So that right there is another violation. If they don't identify themselves, state that they are confirming or correcting your location information concerning the consumer, an alleged debt. Look, 5, not communicate by postcard. They can't send you a postcard. They cannot use any language or symbol of any language or symbol on any envelope, meaning they can't even put their logo on there. That's a violation in the contents of any communication affected by the mails or telegram that indicates that a debt collector is in the debt collection business. You little, and they say we are scamming. This right here seems frivolous. If I ever seen frivolous ever. So I'm just going to do a couple more. And then I'm going to show you the solution. I'm going to show you a couple of violations and then show you the solution. C. We're just going through the alphabet. 15C. Communication in connection with debt collection. Communication with the consumer, generally without the prior consent of the consumer, given directly to the debt collector, or the express permission of a court of a competent jurisdiction. Competent. Remember what the definition of court was? 28 USC 3002. You know what I'm saying? I got to go into that. Again, I will. You know what I'm saying? Right here, 28 U.S.C. 3002. What was court again? Court means any court created by the Congress of the United States, excluding the United States Tax Court. So now let's go back to C. Without the prior consent of the consumer given directly to the debt collector, or the express permission of a competent court, which will be the Court of Congress. So unless the debt is coming from a court of Congress, it's not a competent court. A debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with the collection of any debt. They can't even communicate with you. If at any unusual time or place, or a time or place known or which should be known to be inconvenient to the consumer, anytime that's inconvenient to you, they can't even communicate to you. You got to understand, every time an attempt happens to collect a debt, this is your job. This is what your fucking job is. This is how you make money. Okay? You're violating you as a consumer, as God. They're violating you as God. And then you're just allowing yourself to go work for them and pay them interest. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh. Okay. Let's go to some solutions. Okay. Civil liability. Okay. This is what you do in the car. Let's go to some solutions. Okay. Except as otherwise provided by this section, any debt collector who fails to comply with any provision, fails to comply. That's what you hit them on the head with. And remember, when you're talking to individuals, if you're not an advocate, a teacher is not your specialty, you don't want to start talking codes, because then now you're triggering the matrix. You want to just talk, hey, civil liability. According to the Truth in Lending Act, in regards to civil liability, except as otherwise provided by the section, any debt collector who fails to comply with any provisions of the subchapters with respect, and you can paraphrase these, put it in your own language, so you can say it to them if you would need to call them on the phone, is liable to such person in an amount equal of the sum of, here's the damages, any actual damage sustained by such person as a result of such failure. 2A, in the case of inaction by an individual, such additional damages as the court may allow, but not exceeding $1,000. So it's $1,000 per violation. So this is how you rally it up, and this is how you close them out. It's $1,000 per violations. I just went over at least 3 to 4 different violations just from you looking at Title 15 of the United States Code, A, B, and C. There was at least 6 violations in between those 3. And it goes all the way up until Title 15, 1692, I believe. Yeah, after K, then it goes into the billing errors. So point is, you take this into small claims. And here's how it works when you go to the court. You know, attorneys and lawyers, when they see you going into making a claim, they're going to ask you if you need help. So then you ask them questions and you make them help you. But you don't appoint them as an attorney. So this is what we did to enforce remedy. This is what we did to enforce the endorsement. You must enforce your remedy, okay? Through enforcing your understanding of your rights. Because when you know somebody stole some money from you and you know who it is, you hitting them up every day like, yo, like, how could you? I know where you stay. You're hitting them up every day. Especially if you know they say, hey, I'm going to give that back to you. Hey, just hit me up. I'm going to give it back to you. Because that's what the creditors, a.k.a. the banks, which the banks are only borrowers, they're saying, hey, hit us up and let us know, and we'll give you your credits when you're ready. So that's your job. This is your job to read. This is your job to join the club, to get in school, to get in class, to come to the workshops, to come to the in-person rallies, to come to the meditations, to tune in. And it's also my job to stream more, to give you more access, to give you more information, to give you more understanding. If they send you, yes. Oh, shout out. I was talking to for support. Yes, when you send a letter. No, when they send a letter, that's a violation. If they call your phone at a time that's inconvenient to you, if they call you, if they send you a postcard, if they send you an email, and listen, you are private. Nobody can come into your house until they knock on your door and you open it. So it's the same way. How do they know where you live if you never gave out your address? So just because you live somewhere doesn't give anybody the right to send you anything, right? So that's the state of sovereignty, unless it's gifts. You know what they're sending you is an attempt to collect a debt. So the debt collectors. Same with police officers. They're policy officers, and they uphold an office or a state NYPD, AYPD, whatever PD. The state police department. So the estate officers or officials. So police officers, they enforce code. So this is how you talk to officials as well, through understanding code, understanding consumerism, right? I'm not a sovereign citizen, I'm a consumer. No, I don't understand that sovereign citizen jargon. That sounds like crazy talk. I'm the consumer. I'm the creditor. I'm the estate. Can you see my crown? I'm the estate. So this is the most simple way, and this is how you talk to the CFOs, the trustees, and you say, hey, as the representative for this estate, I instruct you to balance this account. Now, don't just go to jumping into all this if you ain't been studying none of the past videos I did, or if you ain't seen the class. You know what I'm saying? Because when you get that denial and you don't understand how to follow up with the denial, because that's all it is. You focus on growth. So all you have to do is continue following up. But if you lose focus, then that's how you won't get remedy. That's it. That's all I gotta say. Yeah. At the library, brother, vibrating higher than most of these pre-programmed Negroes. Stay inside your own mansion or inside your own condo, that library you sitting in, because that's how it started for me. I used to leave the house I was living in, the space I was in, because everybody wasn't on the same page, and I would go to spaces like the library and read and study to put the information together. And then when I would leave the library, I would run into people, mentors, and I would get access to the information, and that's what led to the actual remedy, the solutions. It was the connections from me putting in the work and following up with what the fuck I said I wanted to do. He said, how can you be a citizen of a corporation? 18 USC 911. Also, 8 USC 1402. Yeah, you really be needing to have a notebook without me speaking now.
I know, yeah, it's like, where is my notebook at?
I'm like, it's a good thing. It's like, because it should just be coming off.
UC 3002.
Yeah, because like, especially when you have the spirit of invigoration, and then you always want to teach people, because that's how you really ingrain it to people, saying like, yo, I'm not just saying this. This is 28 USC 3002. United States is a corporation per subsection 16. It says United States Code. That's what USC stands for. United States Code. The computers that we use, the phones that we use are codes. So everything is coded. So the United States Code, it's how all the energy is being used. So like when you're talking to folks, it's like, look, I'm not going back and forth. This is the United States Code. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a governor. I'm not an attorney. Matter of fact, I'm just a piece of God. Okay? And as a piece of God, as a representative of the Most High, in my state, in my right mind, I understand that I righteously breathe naturally. Anything that impairs that function is a violation. So through breath, you get movement. So anything that impairs movement is impairing breath. So all the things that's impairing is violations of the Most High natural law. So that's why when people come and say, oh, it's a scam or it's just a finesse, you have to understand you have to pay for things that are natural. Water and fire, heat to stay warm. You have to pay for air. You have to pay for land, for earth, for nature. The human species is the only species that pays to live, but yet has dominion over all other species. That sounds so backwards.
Oh, save this.
Yeah, definitely gotta say this. This be an accident. 18 USC 911. 911. And look, what's 1 plus 8? 9. 911. Peep this. Whoever falsely and willfully represents himself. Whoever falsely and willfully represents themselves to be a citizen of the United States shall be fined under this title or in prison not more than 3 years. Now you say you a citizen again now? No. That's crazy. Look, now let's go to 8 USC 1402. Almost like popping the pineal gland open a little bit. 8 USC 1402. You know, not Porce is born in Puerto Rico. 8 USC 1401, Title 8. You'll see most of the codes that are similar, so they're within the same titles. And again, what is your name? A title. And what does that title do? That title gives you life. Because when people say your name, that's when you move. So the titles is what gives life to this corporation, which actually this corporation is dead because the individuals who built it are not alive. So this is what makes it a dead corporation. But what gives it life is these titles. Right? Did that just come in through clear? That makes sense? So understand these titles. I'm on Fidel in it. Yo, Fidel, you in the club? Look, 8 USC 1401, nationals and citizens of the United States at birth. Nationals at birth. Status correction what? Why you need status correction? Hold on. Why you need status correction? The following shall be nationals. What's a national? National sounds like a natural. The term national means a person owning permanent allegiance to a state. A person born in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. A person born in the United States to a member of an Indian, Eskimo, Aleutian, or other Aboriginal tribe, provided that the granting of citizenship under this subsection shall not in any manner impair or otherwise affect the right of such person to tribal or other property. You mean to tell me, per 8 U.S.C. 1401, there shall be no right to impair or otherwise affect property? Should get deep.
They're all in violation.
Yeah. So there's no fight of war. Really, the war is just on ignorance, because just from looking at this, there's no such thing as sovereign citizen. You're a national. It says that you were born as a national of the United States.
At birth.
At birth. So a person born in the United States. We saw the United States was a corporation. So if it's a corporation, man, I'm just like, yo, how deep I want to go. The Trust Act, an act for, let's just go to it. Let's just click on this. SouSou Act. This is the act where all the estates were claimed. This is not the first one. First one was in 1222, 1666. So when you turn 18, you are free from this system. But you have 7 years to claim that estate. Right here. SouSou remaining beyond C for 7 years. That's your estate. What's SouSou mean before we go into it? I can hear y'all asking questions. You know, y'all, if y'all have computers and phones too, you know, we can work together. They got me working over here like I got 3 hands. 3 hands. SouSou. Somebody drop the definition of SouSou. Peace, peace. Peace in the room. Everybody tuning in. Or Oksana's in the building. Peace, peace. What's up, J Star? Peace, peace. What up, Sanganis? Peace, peace. SouSou in French. SouSou means he who lives. The legal term describes the person who is the beneficiary and has rights to property in an estate. Okay, SouSou. So, what's the SouSou Act? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm going straight to section 2 right now, just to give you some substance. The SouSou remaining beyond sea for 7 years together and no proof of their lives, judge in action to direct a verdict as though SouSou were dead. If this estate, which again, SouSou is the legal term that we just saw, the beneficiary who has rights to an estate. So for 7 years, if this estate is not just together and there's no judge in action, and what was action again? We already looked up the definition of action multiple times. I'm like, God, I'm just gonna have to keep going back. It was the Bill of Exchange Act is where you find the definition for action. You already saw action right there. Includes counterclaim. So it's just the case. If nobody makes this action, nobody takes a counterclaim to direct this SouSou. This is this estate, this property right here. Then what happens? It's dead. It's abandoned. So that's what's going on. You are lost at sea. You are abandoned. You are dead. You know, and your interest is being claimed by those who are acting in retrospect of you. Oh, gotta go to it. This who's claiming your interest right here. The Federal Reserve, which was only made in 1913. Yes, the dead and lost at sea until you claim the estate. First go to the Federal Reserve Act. Look how many sections it got. They talk about short titles, definitions, districts, the monetary policy. Everybody uses money, but who knows monetary policies? Notes, emergencies, advances, powers of Federal Reserve banks. I just want to go to that one, but look, any Federal Reserve Bank may receive form from any of its member banks as depository institutions from the United States. Deposits of current funds, lawful money, national banknotes, Federal Reserve notes, or checks. and drafts payable upon presentation or other items, and also for collection. I'm just going to read something specifically. Federal Reserve notes right here. Checks and drafts payable upon presentation or other items, or maturing notes and bills. Federal Reserve notes payable upon presentation. Nothing in this or any other section of this. Oh shit. I got one of them fancy mouses. What'd I do? Hold on. Nothing in this or any other section of this act shall be construed as prohibiting a member or non-member bank or other depository institution from making reasonable charges to be determined and regulated by Board of Governors. Discount, commercial. Understand. Okay. Your position as a note issuer, Federal Reserve notes, which are those things that you use, they're to be issued at the discretion of who? The Board of Governors. Yeah, I keep pressing that shit. Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System for the purpose of making advances. That's it. To the Federal Reserve banks through the Federal Reserve agents. What? Making advances to Federal Reserve banks through Federal Reserve agents. Who are the Federal Reserve agents? They shall be redeemed in lawful money on demand at any Federal Reserve bank. Redeem. What's lawful money? Lawful money is currency issued by the United States Treasury, such as gold and silver coins, treasury notes, and treasury bonds. Fiat money, which consists of paper money and checks, is not lawful money, but is considered legal tender. Treasury notes. We're going to get into it. Lawful money. Redeemable. It says your Federal Reserve notes are redeemable in lawful money. It said lawful money includes treasury notes. What's treasury notes? Treasury note is a United States government debt security within a fixed interest rate maturity between United States government debt security. What's the U.S. government debt security? Uh-oh. Get into it. Let me show you better. Okay. What the United States government? What is? What is government security? T-bills, T-bonds. United States Treasury securities, also called treasuries or treasurers, are government debt instruments issued by the United States. Oh, now we're getting closer. What are government debt instruments? I mean, can y'all already see where it's going? Like, can y'all already see what's going? Like, sometimes you gotta do this to, like, you gotta. Because the United States Treasury offer a government bond. A government bond or sovereign bond is a form of bond issued by a government to support a public spending. It generally includes a commitment to pay periodic interest. Government bond is form of a bond issued by a government, includes commitment to pay periodic interest. So if we go back where we just were, and we were looking at lawful money from the Federal Reserve, it says they shall be redeemed in lawful money, your Federal Reserve notes. And then we saw from this tab, the Federal Reserve notes lead to this word bond, which bond you're supposed to be paid periodic interest for. Interesting. All right. So that's class. I'm actually hungry. I have to make a phone call. So I'm going to tend to calls. I'm going to eat. If you would like more information on this, just DM class 2 Thinking about doing another class too. Got something else coming for the classroom. October 30th, Hallows Eve, at City Hall here in NYC. I know the words are just rhyming because it's just the flow. But other than that, the Private Wealth Club is how you get access to the remedies, the formulas. It's how you get access to the order, status correction, estate planning, pre-recorded videos, the ebooks. If you want the ebook that I read in the beginning of this, the biology, I spoke about biology. Send whatever donation. I'll send you the email of the ebook, the PDF. That's how we're going to do it with these ebooks. The knowledge is free because, hey, are you going to do it? So send whatever it is that's going to make you move. So with that being said, other than that, I'll see y'all at another time. It's Friday, Venus Day. Do what it is that you enjoy. Look at your Venus. Relate that way. That's how you take advantage of today. Also, happy solar eclipse shift. This is shift and fast. Fast. Now, please. Thank you. Royal out. Yeah.